Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube. Well, we're here on a service call, 2012 Nissan Maxima. I gotta bring the thing back to life. Skippy's been messing with my tools. Where's my 10mm wrench? What's going on here? This is out of control. Oh, it's in my hand. Hi. Yeah, so 2012 Nissan Maxima, battery died. We managed to, I was down here a couple of weeks ago, pulled the battery out, got in it with the courtesy key. So we got to get this thing fired up. And something very important, program the CD player. I think I must have been told that about half a dozen times. CD player. Okay, we'll get all going well. It will run, and I will get the CD player and radio rebooted. So hang in there. I got the battery. The battery is here. We're going to use my handy dandy Jim Dandy tool here too. This is pretty cool. You want to see this. This tool is, I don't even know if you can get them anymore. See this? This reams the battery cable end and cleans it up. And these ends, actually, you'll see in a minute what they do. One is positive, one is for the negative. But at this end, this is for cleaning side terminal batteries, which I think are a tool of the devil personally. Who wants side terminal batteries anymore? But anyways, so here's what I do. You look for the plus, you put it on the plus terminal. Watch how clean this thing makes your battery terminals. And this is how clean they need to be, because on today's vehicles, if it's gray like that, that's corrosion. In today's technology, that's clean. That's what you have to have on all your electrical connections. They better look like a shiny new dime. So now we'll do the negative side. So there's the negative. This is a really cool tool. I only have but one. So watch how this makes your battery terminals the way they should be. It takes some lead right off, and it sharpens them up and cleans them off. How cool is that? So we're going to go over to, I've got my other battery cleaner here, this one. So let's get the terminals cleaned up first. And I set everything here so that I would know how that goes. But I saw these terminals. They're just terrible. There, look at this terminal here. That is not shiny. So on today's vehicles, these terminals better look like what I just created over there. These are lousy. Look at it. Green Mombies. That's what I call them. You got the green Mombies on today's cars, you got bad connections, my friends. But you can't use this on there, so you got to have this. We got to get that clean, otherwise you're wasting your time. Because I don't know if I'll have to dump codes or not, but my job here is to get it going. And don't forget to program the CD player, otherwise mothership is not going to be happy. So this is a road test, so you got to come prepared. That's why I got tools in there coming out of my wazoo, because I don't want to be running back and forth. I want to get here, get it done. And this car's been parked for a while, and it's going to be sitting for a while yet. But I'm doing my job. I said I'd come and do this and take care of it for the lady, so that's what we're doing. Do it with a smile. Okay, I'm going to put these away so we don't leave any tools behind. We don't leave anyone behind. We got some Wiener slide. Okay, I need to take these off. Take the nuts off. So I set this up so I could get back here, get the battery in, get it all hooked back up, because there's a special way this thing goes is like that. Yeah, okay. All right, we need the battery. Yeah, at least it's got this one's got a really good go handle. Look at the handle on this thing. That is a go handle. Oh my goodness. Okay, cover me, I'm going in. But the thing is, I put it in backwards. Okay. Twist and turn. Look at, just cooperate, would you? Don't make me smack you. I'm gonna give you a smacking in a minute. Okay, let's get this hooked up so computer can begin to think while I fasten it down and get all the doodads going here. So I notice I have the negative in my hand, I'm putting on the positive. That's the habit I always make. Which one goes on first? Put the positive on, then the negative. Okay, we should have power. Let the computer think about it for a minute, and then I'll see if it'll start. Then I can finish it while it's running. Perhaps. Maybe. Something like that. Okay, so we need, see, this one's kind of intricate. Right, it goes like that. So we have to go over there. We have to get this little guy here under there at the same time and drop that in, and don't get rammy. Otherwise, you drop the hooks off and then you got to try and fish it and get it back in place. So I usually like to just get one started, get it down there, kind of like this. Just get that fastened down there so it's in place. Just snug it up temporarily so you don't lose the hook out of the battery tray, because that's annoying. So now we can get this one started as well, because if you let the hook get out of there, then you'll lose the opposite side, and then you're messing around with that, and it's time plus aggravation. So this car's been sitting way too much. You can see, I see all kinds of problems coming here because it's not being driven, it's just parked. And cars and equipment need to be working. And this vehicle is going to become a brake nightmare, because that's, the longer it sits, the brakes will go bad, but there's all kinds of corrosion setting in everywhere from sitting. And you can see it here, corrosion, it's starting to show signs of sitting. Everywhere I look, I see it. You know, clamps like this, clamps rusting. When they rust, they lose their tensile, so you can end up with a car that's problematic. The longer it sits, and it's sitting outside in the elements, you know, if you're not going to be using a car for a year, you might really want to consider just get rid of it. Or if it's going to be longer, just sell it off and buy another one when the time comes, because this car could become very problematic. Okay, so we're just going to see if we're going to get any power, because I haven't heard this car run. I just been asked, could I get it going? So we're on a road trip to see if we can get it going. Is it going to start for me? So unlock. I'll have to close the door. All right, so we can button it up under the hood, and then I got to figure out how to set the radio, because this particular person was very adamant about, okay, we need that off, we need that off. I'm not familiar with this. Okay, go like that. All right. I'm learning as I go, so there's got to be a trick to setting the radio back up. So we'll finish buttoning down the battery, but it started right away, so that's a hallelujah. It's got 153,459 kilometers on it. It is a nice car. It's clean, but you know, the longer it sits, the brakes are going to be done for sure. I can tell you that. And then the other thing that starts to go is the exhaust. Then what else starts to go is if it has a metal fuel tank, which it should be plastic, but all the metal stuff underneath, the brake lines and that, this is not a good place to leave a car because it's in the mud. These tires will rot because they've got mud on them. Yeah, it is a good looking car. It's in good shape for the model year, but this car needs to be driven. And so folks, this is a good example of, if you're not going to be using it, it better be parked in a climate controlled area. Otherwise, everything is corroded. Everywhere I look, I see corrosion. And I can tell you, the brake lines will go, they'll rot out. Clamps are rusting. Any clamp that's rusted's got to be replaced. And I mean, I've managed to save this battery. This is a used battery that the lady bought, and I managed to taking my time and bringing it back to life very slowly on a trickle charger. I got it to come back. Whether, you know, every time you discharge a battery and then recharge it, or if you just decide the battery's low and you just boost it, you're buckling the plates in the battery. So she wanted me to boost this and get it started, and I said, no, the battery needs to come out. It's got to go on the bench, and we got to put it on a very low trickle charger. So like 5 amps overnight, and then bump it up to 10 amps and bring the battery up. And I tested it, and it wasn't showing life. It showed 12 volts, but on my load tester, which I'll show you in a second, the needle just dropped every time. So I put it back on the slow charger for another 24 hours, 5 amps. And the next morning I tested it, and when I load tested it, it was holding. It was starting to come back to life. So then I set my slow charger to 10 amps, another 24 hours, and the battery started coming back up really, really well. So let's get my my battery tester charger thingy here. And this particular battery tester, I've had this one for years. And I'll tell you what, this is all we used in the trade, and this was high tech at the time. And it'll tell me everything I need to know, including what I want for lunch today, and would I like another cup of coffee? Yes, to both. So I'm just going to plug in here. We'll check the charging system. The charging whirler is working. We're at 13. Headlights are on. So that's good. That's very good. So on the battery fly, I retested the battery this morning. But if you can get your hands on one of these, you don't find them in chrome anymore, which is my favorite color, by the way. If you ever want to buy me something for Motormouth, get it in chrome. That's my favorite color. You can buy these for like 69 bucks, and I'll tell you what, I can test any battery. I can know everything I need to know about the charging starting system from this meter for like 70 bucks. These were big money back when, but I've had this probably 30 years. I know, I'm not quite as old as dirt, but just maybe as old as a worm. So, and this is the little scan tool. You got to get your hands on one of these. This will do OBD2. It's like 172 bucks. I'm very familiar with OTC, their equipment. I had a bunch of their scan equipment back in my shop in the day, in the early 90s. This little handheld gives me a lot of information for less than 200 bucks. So you'll get a chance to see. We have another service call right after this one. Vanna White is on the side of the road, and she's not happy. Not happy, Jerry. Not happy. So we got to head there, but we know it's charging, so I'm happy with that. I'll put a little goober on the terminals, and then I got to study the radio and figure out how to bring it back to life, because here's the thing. When you pull a battery out or you let a battery discharge, if you don't, on some of these cars, if you don't have the radio code, you are not bringing that radio back to life. And here's the kicker. Where are you going to get the radio code from? The dealer. And the dealer, because you didn't buy this car at the local Nissan dealer, is going to charge you 60 to 80 bucks to get you the radio code. I'm just telling you. So you don't want to be just, you know, she bought this car used. She's still learning it and learning the car. But if this radio needs a code and the car doesn't have it in have the radio booklet and the code is recorded, you're out of luck, partner. You're going to have to take the car to the dealer to let them program the radio for you, and it's going to cost you. The dealers, it doesn't take a lot of time to do it, but you're going to pay a quarter of an hour to an hour, whatever the labor charge is. I'm just putting dielectric grease on here, and that'll just hold back some of the corrosion. Because this is your CAN bus right here. You got a major 50 amp, 250 amp fuse right here. If that blows because of bad contact, the car's completely dead. Yeah, and you got to buy this cable to get the fuse because it's part of the wire harness. So again, you're going to be going to the dealer buying a wire harness for this 250 amp fuse. So that's good. We got some stuff on there. That'll stop the corrosion. Well, let's see if we can get the radio back to life. I don't know if I can. Okay, we need a rag right here. Just say, tell the viewers, I brought the cleanup rags. I only have 100. Do you think we can get cleaned up when we're done? We'll have to wait and see. Stick around. All right, so this is where it's going to get interesting. I don't know how to bring the radio back to life. You probably have to do some kind of sequence, so let's hope for the, hey, we got some paperwork. I don't know. This is the one we need right here. I believe. What else do we have? Do we have anything else? We got straws. We got a mask. We got some, what I call Irish linen. Nothing but the best. Hey, I wonder if these are plastic straws. Get busted. Oh, there's a plastic one. Busted! Hide that. Can't have a plastic straw in Canada, you know. Okay, so we got to go into here. Oh, it's an Altima. I thought it was a Maxima. I don't know. I'm not totally up on Nissan, but okay, table of continents. Would that be table of incontinence or continents? I don't know. Instruments and controls. Starting driving in case of emergency. Put your head between your knees and kiss your butt goodbye. Case of emergency. I heard that on a plane one time. The pilot said that. It was funny. He said, in case of emergency, put your head between your knees and y'all kiss your butts goodbye. I thought that's just what you want to hear at about 22,000 feet or so. Okay, monitor climate audio. Here it is, hidden right here. Monitor climate audio, phone and voice recognition. Well, I ain't going that far. That's chapter 4. Okay, we need to get into chapter 4 apparently. Where's chapter 4? Some of these manuals are something to be desired. 4. Chapter 4. Well, where's chapter 4? Do we know? Does anybody know? It's kind of like, does anybody really know what time it is? I don't know. Chapter 4. Okay, all right. What do I got to go by? Page? One page at a time? Oh, I see. 05. 0-5. 1-25. I'm getting it now. Instrument and controls. 2-25. We want 4. Okay, so 4. You need a manual to learn how to work the manual. You know, some of these car things, manuals are something to be. Oh, here we go. Redidio. Okay. All right. Wow. What do we want to know? Well, how to use touchscreen. I can't teach the lady any of that. I don't have time for that. No. I don't think this has the touchscreen. So how to touchscreen, select menu, info, rear view mirror monitoring, how to use the info button, I don't know, radio reception, we need to know how to reboot it. Reception. Compact disc. That's important. Enter USB. iPod, music, car phone, CB radio. How do I turn it on? How do you turn it back on after the battery's been dead? We might have to look it up. Just Google it. It'd be faster than looking it up in here, let me tell you. There's a friend of mine last year. He got a car in his shop, couldn't figure out how to get the top down, and he called me and he was like freaking out. I mean, he'd been at it for about 2 hours, and he needed to clean the car and couldn't get the roof to go down. So I Googled it. I said, give me all the information. I wrote it down, I Googled it, and then I drove to his shop and I put the top down for him in like 7 minutes. And he had the owner's manual but couldn't figure it out. And you know, when you get frustrated, connecting procedure 4-115. Setting button, display screen. Huh? I think it's a Google thing, yeah. So I think we'll just take a little break here and we'll do a little Google-mizing and get the quick set, because I don't have time to read this. We got to get to Vanna White for another service call and get her figured out and deal with fault codes and ground circuit interruption and everything else. I have just the fix for it. We slide a stick of dynamite in the tailpipe, plug it up with a potato, and run. No, just kidding. Well, thank you for stopping by the Car Connection Workshop right here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back and join us for another segment. So like, share, tag, and follow, and ding that bell so that you don't miss a single edition of Car Connection. So till next time, keep it under 100 and put the coffee on, because we're coming to your house.